What is up, YouTube? Back in Madden 23. If you like Madden 23 rebuilds, then you came to the right place. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, make some suggestions down in the comments of other types of rebuilds you would like to see. If I pick your comment, I will feature it in that video that I do. Billy Not Tilly suggested, can you do the Browns? So today we're going to be doing a Cleveland Browns 5-year rebuild. The Browns did not make it to the playoffs this year, so I went ahead and I simulated the playoffs. I did force wins on teams that actually won in the first week of the playoffs. So it ended up being the Jaguars against the Chiefs, and the Jaguars won. I thought that was crazy. But the Bills did beat the Jaguars to make it to the Super Bowl. On the other side, the Cowboys beat the 49ers and the Eagles to make it to the Super Bowl. Then the Bills ended up beating the Cowboys 20-14. The Bills won their first Super Bowl ever. Josh Allen won Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes won MVP of the regular season with the Chiefs. Nick Sirianni won Coach of the Year with the Eagles. Devontae Adams won Offensive Player of the Year with the Raiders. Nick Bosa won Defensive Player of the Year with the 49ers. Kenneth Walker won Offensive Rookie of the Year with the Seahawks. And Jalen Petrie won Defensive Rookie of the Year with the Texans. Checking out the player stats from the season, they had the 13th ranked offense, and defensively they were ranked number 15, so about middle of the road. Jacoby Brissett threw for 2,600 yards, 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 63% completion with the 88 rating. Deshaun Watson played in a few games, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, only 58% completion with the 79 rating, so not good from Deshaun Watson at all. Nick Chubb had another outstanding season, 1,500 yards rushing on 300 carries, 5 yards per carry with 12 touchdowns. Kareem Hunt, 468 yards, 3.8 per carry with 3 touchdowns. Receiving, Amari Cooper had 78 catches, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. Great season from him. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 839 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Njoku, 600 yards, 4 touchdowns. Defensively, Grant Delpit led the team in tackles with 105. John Johnson had 101. Myles Garrett had 17 tackles for a loss, and he also led the team in sacks with 16, and basically nobody else did anything but a couple of sacks. Interceptions, Grant Delpit had the most with 4, Denzel Ward had 3, and then Jones, Fields, Green, and Johnson had 1 interception. We only have $26 million in cap space, and there's a lot of guys that are up here to be re-signed. I think there's 26 of them, but the only guy that I'm really interested in bringing back, there's going to be 2. I'm going to bring Anthony Walker Jr. back. 3 years, $10 million, 28 years old, but he's still a 77 overall. He only has normal dev. Just want to make sure that we have a middle linebacker on the team, and this deal is not that bad. Let me raise it up a little bit because he really has no interest. If he doesn't sign, then it is what it is. He's coming back. So I got 21 million left. The only other guy that I do want to bring back is going to be this guy, Ethan Pochik. I guess that's how you say it. I'm not sure. 28 years old, 72 overall, star dev. Oh, he wants to go to free agency. All right, never mind. Looking at the team salaries, Deshaun Watson, 27 years old, 82 overall. He just signed that huge deal with the Browns in real life. He's making $55 million a year for the next 4 years after this season in real life. So we're gonna have to watch this closely. I mean, honestly, I personally think that he's way overpaid. I wouldn't have gave him this money. I wouldn't even give him a chance to play. The Browns decided to do that, so we're gonna try to get him to develop in the game. But if he doesn't do well, then I won't be scared to move on from him. This is what the team is looking like before free agency and the draft. Deshaun Watson's at 82 with star dev. We got one of the best running backs with Nick Chubb. He's 99 X Factor. Amari Cooper has X Factor, 90 overall. Peoples-Jones is 79 with normal dev. We could definitely use a third receiver or even a number 2 receiver and make Peoples-Jones the third receiver. Offensive line is actually pretty decent. We could use a left guard, obviously. Or actually, Batonio's left guard. We need a center since I couldn't get Pochich back. And then we got Njoku at tight end. This defense is not looking as good as the offense. We just had a lot of guys that left in free agency. We just really couldn't afford to pay them. We had to pick and choose. Obviously, I re-signed Anthony Walker, but he's not at the starter right now because it says he's out for 12 weeks with the injury. Should be ready for the beginning of the next season, though. So we need an outside linebacker, a couple of defensive tackles, a defensive end. Cornerbacks are actually looking pretty decent. You know, Denzel Ward's 90 overall superstar dev. Greg Newsome is 83 with star dev. Safeties are looking pretty good right now. Johnson's getting up there in age. He's an 80 overall star dev, but he's 27 years old, so he's almost at his max. We're gonna have to watch him real closely. In free agency, I'm definitely gonna be trying to focus on getting defensive tackles and another pass rusher. I'm changing the offensive scheme to vertical power run. We're a 68% scheme fit with that right now, and I'm doing that so we can use the Buffalo Bills playbook. It's a vertical power run. Gonna try to get Deshaun Watson to develop into a pocket passer since he's making $1 billion a year. Free agency, I'm bringing in Cody Barton at middle linebacker. I'm going to end up moving Walker to outside linebacker, who's our current middle linebacker. But Barton is 78 overall, 26 years old with star dev. Got him on a 3-year deal. Bringing in Brandon Graham at defensive end. He's 35 years old, so it's just going to be a 1-year patch. And then Bilal Nichols at defensive tackle. He's only a 73 overall, 26 years old with normal dev. We only got $4 million left in cap space, so we're tapped out. Here in the second round of the draft, we did not have a first round pick. I'm going to draft this defensive tackle, Jacqueline Roy from LSU, 6'3", 297 pounds. He's a run stop and scheme fit. We really need help on the defensive line, so this guy's 20 years old. Great acceleration, great agility, good jumping, great speed, good strength. He has hidden dev with 87 strength and 74 speed. Nice. Here in the fourth round, we did not have a third round pick. I'm going to draft this left tackle, Carter Warren from Pittsburgh. He's 6'5", 325 pounds. He's a power guy. 23 years old. He has solid in everything besides good change of direction with decent jumping. Normal dev with 86 strength. We have another fourth round pick here. I'm going to draft this wide receiver, A.T. Perry from Wake Forest. He is 6'5", 205 pounds. He's a deep threat scheme fit. Only got him 55% scouted. He's 22 years old. He has solid acceleration, agility, and change of direction with good jumping, decent speed, and good strength. And he has hidden dev with 88 speed. Nice. Fifth round, I'm going to draft this defensive end, Byron Young from Alabama. He's 6'3", 292 pounds. He's a run stopper, so I'll definitely be moving him to defensive tackle. He's 23 years old from Alabama. Solid acceleration, decent agility, solid jumping, poor speed with good strength. Normal dev with 84 strength. Another fifth round pick. I'm going to take this outside linebacker, Brenton Cox Jr. from Florida. He's a speed rusher, 6'4", 254 pounds, so we'd definitely be moving him to defensive end. 22 years old. He has good in everything. Great jumping, great speed, solid strength. Normal dev with 84 speed. Sixth round, I'm going to take this strong safety, Jason Taylor from Oklahoma State. He's 6 foot, 215 pounds, and he's a hybrid guy, 22 years old. Solid acceleration, decent agility, solid change of direction with solid speed. Normal dev, 87 speed. Seventh round, the last pick that we have, I'm going to draft this left tackle, Javon Foster from Missouri. He's 6'6", 310 pounds. He's a power guy. I'm only going to draft him because he has a chance to have A in his awareness and his impact blocking. 22 years old. He has good acceleration, great change of direction with good speed. Normal dev with 85 strength. Checking out the draft recap, the defensive tackle Jacqueline Roy is a 72 overall. We saw that he had hidden dev, so he's definitely going to be starting for us right away. Need to get younger on the defensive line, on the whole team in general. Carter Warren, the left tackle, is only a 66. A.T. Perry is also a fourth round pick, 72 overall. He had hidden dev as well. He'll be starting for us in the slot right away. The rest of the guys are all in the mid 60s. See what the entire NFL draft recap's looking like. Will Anderson Jr. went to the Bears, number 1 overall, 78. Bryce Young, 76 overall, went to the Texans. And then C.J. Stroud, 73 overall, went to the Cardinals. Highest in the whole class was Jalen Carter, 79 overall, that went to the Raiders. This is what the starting lineup is going to look like for the first season. Deshaun Watson's at 82 with star dev. Nick Chubb's playing up to 99 with X Factor. Cooper's at 91 with X Factor. A.T. Perry, the rookie, he's going to be playing in the slot for us. He's up to a 74 with hidden dev. Donovan Peoples-Jones is 81 with normal dev. Offensive line is looking pretty good. I'm going to roll with Nick Harris at center. He's a 67 overall. I think he's like 24 years old. And Njoku at tight end is 85 with star dev. Defensively, we got the rookie defensive tackle Roy starting for us, along with Bilal Nichols. We got in free agency. Myles Garrett and Brandon Graham are going to be playing defensive end for us. Cody Barton at middle linebacker. I move Walker Jr. to outside linebacker. And then we have Koromoa at other outside linebacker spot. Grant Delpit, 77 with star dev at strong safety. Johnson's at 80 with star at free safety. Denzel Ward's at 90 with superstar. Newsome's at 83 with star. And then Emerson Jr. is going to be in the slot for us at corner. Here at the midseason point, we're off to a great start. We're 4-2, leading the division. The Steelers and Bengals are both 3-4, and the Ravens are 0-6. See what players we have to negotiate with. We have negative 8 million in money, so we're not gonna be able to bring anybody back right now. We have to wait till the end of the year. Here at week 12, we had a breakout opportunity for the wide receiver, the rookie we drafted, A.T. Perry. And it looks like he ended up getting it. Dang, he's up to superstar dev. Wow, awesome. And he gets 2,000 XP. End of the regular season, we finished 12-5 and won the division. Going to the playoffs for sure. The Steelers went 10-7, and the Ravens and Bengals both went 9-8. I want to check out the players that we drafted and see what their dev traits are. I mean, we saw that A.T. Perry had superstar dev, but I want to see that defensive tackle that we drafted. Roy, he's only got star dev, but he's already playing up to a 78 overall. It's already better than Bilal Nichols by a mile. Checking out the season stats, we had the 4th ranked offense. Deshaun Watson threw the most passing touchdowns, and we had the 30th ranked defense. Wow, we still made it to the playoffs. Deshaun Watson threw for 4,900 yards, 49 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 68% completion with the 111 rating. Looks like this Buffalo Bills offense is great for him. Nick Chubb ran for 1,300 yards, 5.7 per carry with 20 freaking touchdowns. Let's go. Rookie receiver A.T. Perry led the team in yards with 1,221, and he had 13 touchdowns. Freaking awesome. Amari Cooper, 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns as well. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns, so 3 receivers over 1,000 yards. And Njoku, 600 yards, 6 touchdowns. Defensively, Koromoa led the team in tackles with 133. Cody Barton right behind him with 115. Myles Garrett had 17 TFLs. Brandon Graham had 15. Myles Garrett had 17 sacks. Brandon Graham had 4.5, and Brenton Cox Jr., the rookie, had 3.5. Really need to get another pass rusher. Denzel Ward had 8 interceptions. What the heck? And Grant Delpit had 6 too. Wow. Koromoa, Barton, and Emerson had 2 interceptions, and then Johnson and Taylor both had 1. Going to be playing against the 10-7 Denver Broncos in the wild card round of the playoffs. We also have the Colts against the Steelers, the Jets against the Raiders, and then the Chiefs had a first round bye week. Unfortunately, we ended up losing to the Broncos 27-21, so we're knocked out of the playoffs. For those of you who don't know, who are new watching my videos, always simulate the first wild card round of the playoffs and also the divisional round. If we make it to AFC Championship game, then I'll do a Super Sim. Also do a Super Sim in the Super Bowl. The Rams ended up beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl 42-35 to win their 3rd Super Bowl, and Matt Stafford won Super Bowl MVP. The rookie quarterback Will Levis won MVP of the regular season with the Buccaneers and their high-powered passing offense that they have that does well in Madden simulation. Well, not just well, it does amazing. Robert Saleh won Coach of the Year with the Jets. Brandon Cooks won Offensive Player of the Year with the Texans. I've never seen that. Max Crosby won Defensive Player of the Year with the Raiders. Will Levis won Offensive Rookie of the Year with the Buccaneers. Will Anderson Jr. won Defensive Rookie of the Year with the Bears. Brandon Graham ended up retiring after 14 years from the defensive end position. I haven't looked at what players we need to try to re-sign yet, but we have negative 500,000 in cap space, so I'm definitely about to go check out the salaries and see if there's anywhere that we can try to free up some cap space. Maybe there's some bad contracts or something. See, Deshaun Watson will save 28 million. We're not going to get rid of him, obviously. Amari Cooper, we're going to keep him. Jedrick Wills, we're going to keep him. Nick Chubb, we're going to keep him. So it's looking like pretty much all of these are players that we want to keep. John Johnson, his contract's expired, so we can't release him because he's officially a free agent. So it looks like we're just screwed on cap space for this year. So these are the guys that we're going to be losing to free agency since we don't have any money. Our free safety, John Johnson. Donovan Peoples-Jones is going to be, he was our wide receiver too, but he's gone now. Our punter's gone. Dang, we're going to lose Grant Delpit, and he jumped up to superstar dev. Bilal Nichols was a 1-year thing. Well, we're going to have to start building through the draft. Here in free agency, we have negative 230,000, so we're not going to be able to sign anybody in free agency, but I just wanted to show y'all they have Nick Bosa here. He's here every single time in the, 2nd or 3rd season. Lamar Jackson is here. Justin Herbert is here. Chidobe Awuzie. Tua is here. We're not going to be able to get anybody. Definitely picking up the 5th-year option for the cornerback, Greg Newsome. Here in the 2nd round of the draft, we don't have a first-round pick yet again since the Browns decided to trade away 87 first-round picks to get Deshaun Watson and then pay him $1 billion, so we can't afford to sign any free agents. I'm going to draft this strong safety, Demarius Newell from Miami, 6'1", 197 pounds. He's a zone guy. We really need another safety since we just lost Johnson. 22 years old, and he's a top fit for us. He has solid acceleration and agility, good change of direction with solid jumping and good speed. He has A awareness, B hit power. We know for sure that he has B zone coverage and C tackle. Only normal dev, 90 speed. Third round, there's a safety setting here that looks too good to pass up. I know we just drafted one, but he only had normal dev. I think this guy might be able to end up having hidden dev. Free safety, Lamar Stevens from North Dakota State, 5'10", 202 pounds, and he's a zone scheme fit. Only got him 55% scouted. He's 22 years old and he's a top fit for us once again. He has solid acceleration and agility, decent change of direction and jumping, great speed and decent strength. He has a chance to have A in his finesse moves and his zone coverage. Man coverage is between a B and a D. And he has normal dev. 91 speed, had to take the chance. Fifth round, I'm going to draft this outside linebacker. He's a speed rusher, so he'll be changed to defensive end. His name's Zach Harvey, Virginia Tech. He's 6'3", 243 pounds, only having 50% scouted. He's a top fit for us once again, 22 years old. He looks pretty good on his physical traits. He has good acceleration, great jumping with elite speed. He has a chance to have A in a few things. He has hidden dev with 86 speed. Nice. We got us a new pass rushing defensive end. We have another 5th round pick here. I'm going to draft this left tackle, Ethan Sheehan from Georgia Tech. He's 6'4", 312 pounds. He's an agile guy, only having 50% scouted. 22 years old, but he has elite agility, good change of direction, and elite speed. Normal dev with 85 strength with 75 speed. He might be good enough to be a starter for us. Over here digging deep in the draft in the 6th round, since this is the only way that we can get new guys on the team, I'm going to draft this outside linebacker Nick Bailey from UTEP. He's 6'2", 232 pounds. He's a pass coverage guy. He is 22 years old. He has elite acceleration with decent agility, great change of direction with good jumping, solid speed. Normal dev with 80 speed. 7th round, I'm going to draft this running back, Derek Barnes from Middle Tennessee State. He is 5'11", 211 pounds, and he's an elusive guy. 22 years old, he has good acceleration, good agility, decent speed. Normal dev with only 87 speed. We have another 7th round pick here. This is the last pick that we have in the draft. I'm going to draft this outside linebacker, Cameron Flowers from Boise State, 6'2", 237 pounds. He's a run-stopping scheme fit. 22 years old and he's a top fit for us. He has elite acceleration, great change of direction, good speed and good strength. Normal dev with 82 speed. Checking out the draft recap, the strong safety we drafted in the 2nd round is a 74 overall. That's good because he's going to be starting for us right away. Sucks that he has normal dev, but maybe he can win defensive rookie of the year for us. Free safety I drafted in the 3rd round is 69 overall. He only had normal dev, so he's probably going to be a career backup. And then the defensive end I drafted in the 5th round, he was an outside linebacker, pass rusher, but I moved him to defensive end. He's only a 65 overall, but he does have hidden dev, so he's most likely going to be starting for us right away. At this point, we really don't have a choice but to play the best of overall players we have on the team, since we don't have the option to sign free agents. The rest of these guys, they're all in the mid-60s. Checking out the entire NFL draft recap, number 1 pick was a 73 overall outside linebacker that went to the Lions, and there was a 70 overall defensive end that went to the Seahawks. So there are a couple of not so good looking guys at the top. Highest in the entire class was an 80 overall quarterback that went to the Bears. What the heck, what happened to Justin Fields? And then there was a 77 wide receiver that went to the Bengals. This is a starting lineup for season 2. Deshaun Watson's up to superstar dev. That's good to see. He's an 84 overall. Nick Chubb's a 99 X Factor. Cooper's a 92 with X Factor. We got lucky that A.T. Perry developed so quickly. He's up to 80 overall with superstar dev. And then we got Bell coming in the slot for us at wide receiver. The offensive line is looking pretty good all around. It's actually looking great. Just the center position, we keep on having to put someone new every year up there because we can't afford to put anybody else there. So it's always some young guy. This is I think a 2nd year guy we drafted last year. Yeah, he's the highest overall at center that we could have. And then we have Njoku at tight end, 86 overall with star dev. Defensively, things are not looking so great. We just had the 30th ranked defense, but I'm pretty sure this defense is probably going to be dead last. Myles Garrett, 99 X Factor. Denzel Ward's up to X Factor, nice, 92 overall. Emerson in the slot. Newsome, 84 overall star dev, playing cornerback 2. And then at defensive tackle, unfortunately, we have to go with Tagai, 70 overall. And I'm going to start the rookie defensive end. That's a 66 overall with hidden dev. Linebackers are looking pretty decent. So we're gonna have a rookie starting at free safety and a rookie starting at strong safety. I didn't realize that we lost both of them, but there was nothing we could do. So we're just gonna have a lot of rookies contributing on the defense and hope they can develop quick. At the midseason point, we're actually off to a pretty good start. We're 5-2, second in the division to the 6-0 Bengals. The Ravens are 3-4, and the Steelers are 2-5. See what players we have to negotiate with. We have $47 million in cap space. Nick Chubb, we definitely got to bring him back. Amari Cooper, same thing. Koromoa, definitely want to bring him back too. So let's start with Nick Chubb and see how fast we can burn through this money. He wants a 5-year deal for about $60 million. He's coming back. We got $36 million left. Amari Cooper's 30 years old and he wants a 4-year deal for $80 million. Dang. Guess we'll go ahead and do it. He's coming back. Hopefully he doesn't regress too fast. Koromoa is 24 years old. He's an outside linebacker, 83 overall, scheme fit, star dev. He wants a 4-year deal for $41 million. Dang. Everybody wants all this big money, man. All right, we got $8 million left. Not going to be able to bring Jedrick Wills back. Probably just going to have to wait till the end of the season to see what we're going to do with everyone else. We ended up having a breakout opportunity for a couple of guys here. The first one is going to be for the defensive tackle we drafted in the first draft, Roy, and he did not get it. The other one that we had was for quarterback Deshaun Watson. We lost the game 28-21, so I doubt that we got it, but we'll definitely check it out. No dev upgrade. End of the regular season, we finished 8-9. Honestly surprised that we did that well because our defense was probably terrible. Bengals went 13-4, won the division. The Ravens went 6-11, and the Steelers went 5-12. See what happened with the season stats. We had the number 2 ranked offense. Nice. Defensively, 29th. So yeah, terrible. Deshaun Watson threw for 5,100 yards, 31 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 65% completion with a 98.9 rating. It's a pretty solid season. I mean, that's a lot of yards passing, but the rating, I like it to be about 105. Nick Chubb had another outstanding year, almost 1,500 yards rushing, 6.2 per carry with 16 touchdowns. And then Deshaun Watson actually had over 350 yards, 4.4 per carry with 8 rushing touchdowns. Amari Cooper had 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns. A.T. Perry, 1,000 yards, 3 touchdowns. David Bell, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. And Njoku almost 1,000 yards with 9 touchdowns from the tight end spot. Cody Barton led the team in tackles with 132. Koromoa had 124. Myles Garrett and Roy both had 21 TFLs. Myles Garrett had 14 sacks. Winfrey, the other defensive tackle, had 6.5 sacks. What the heck? Wasn't expecting that. Roy had 6 sacks, and then the rookie Harvey only had 1.5 sacks. Koromoa had 3 interceptions. Barton had 2, Emerson had 2, Ward had 2, Walker, Newell, Newsome, Taylor, and Stevens all had 1 interception. The Raiders beat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl 38-24 to win their 4th Super Bowl, and Landon Collins won Super Bowl MVP. Josh Allen won MVP of the regular season with the Bills. Robert Saleh won Coach of the Year with the Jets. Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year with the Rams. Greg Rousseau won Defensive Player of the Year with the Bills. Once again, we cannot re-sign anybody. We are negative $3 million on the cap space, so we're going to lose Jedrick Wills. We're going to end up losing who else? Nobody else that was worth the crap. I guess we were able to re-sign all the other guys. All right, well, at least we got lucky with that. Looking at the free agents that are available, we can't bring anyone in because we have negative $3 million once again, but there's a few wide receivers that are pretty good here. Devonta Smith, Chris Godwin, Amon-Ra St. Brown is 25 years old, but he's already 88 with Superstar. I got ahead of myself a little bit, and I forgot to show y'all what the team looked like before we went into free agency and the draft. You know, obviously we couldn't sign anyone in free agency, but we're going to the draft. We're good at quarterback. Running back, we're good. Wide receiver, we could use a 3rd one. We do need another left tackle since we just lost Jedrick Wills. Could use a center. Defensively, we need defensive tackle, and we need defensive end. Harvey had star dev. He's only at 69 overall though. Newell, the free safety we drafted, is up to star dev, so that's good to see. Definitely need a strong safety, so I'm prioritizing defensive end, strong safety, defensive tackle. Here in the first round, we actually have a first round pick for the first time in the 3rd year of the rebuild finally. I have 4 guys that are on my favorites list that are still here. And I'm going to end up drafting this outside linebacker right here as a speed rusher. Right now, he's a true first round talent. We really need a pass rusher. I also want to try to get one of these safeties in the second round, and this outside linebacker Cameron Curtis is a true top 5 talent, even though he's projected to go second to third. So if I could get 3 of these 4 guys, preferably Buckley, Curtis, and Wright, that would be awesome. But right now I'm going to draft this outside linebacker Gordon Buckley from Georgia, 6'4", 247 pounds. He's a speed rusher. 23 years old. He's a little bit older, but he has great acceleration with elite jumping, elite speed, and great strength. Only normal dev, just our luck. 86 speed with 80 strength. Here in the second round, and those 2 safeties I had on my favorites list are gone. The only guy that's left is this run stopping linebacker, but he's a true top 5 talent, so he's going to have a high overall. I doubt that he'll have hidden dev though. Usually when a guy is projected to go really low, but he's a true top 5, typically has no dev. Not all the time, but most of the time. His name is Cameron Curtis from Washington State, 6 foot, 246 pounds. He's a run stopping scheme fit. 22 years old, and he's a top fit for us. He has elite acceleration, good agility, good change of direction, great jumping, great speed, good strength. You know, this dude is just lights out everywhere, so. And he does have hidden dev, I'm surprised. 84 speed with 79 strength. Third round, I'm going to draft this right guard, Darius Christie from South Carolina. He's 6'5", 305 pounds. He's a pass protector, which is a scheme fit for the tackles on our offensive side. So hopefully he can end up being the starting left tackle for us. 21 years old. He has solid acceleration and agility, elite change of direction with solid jumping and speed. He has hidden dev, 84 strength, nice. Here in the fourth round, I'm going to draft this right tackle Everett Duffy from Oklahoma State. He's 6'6", 318 pounds. He's an agile guy, so maybe he'll be able to be higher overall than the starting center that we currently have on the team. 21 years old. He has great acceleration, good agility, good jumping with elite speed, so it looks like he might be a really good 4th round pick here. And he has hidden dev with 85 strength, 76 speed. 5th round, I'm going to draft this tight end, Perry Wheeler from Alabama. He's 6'5", 255 pounds, vertical threat scheme fit. Only got him 50% scouted, and he's a 22-year-old. He has decent acceleration, good agility, great jumping, good speed with great strength. Normal dev with 80 speed. Here in the 6th round, these 2 wide receivers have been setting up here since since the beginning, obviously. But they're projected to go, this one's projected to go 3rd to 4th. I'm going to go ahead and draft him, Tyler Knighton from Southern Arkansas. He's 6'5", 233 pounds, and he's a deep threat scheme fit. 23 years old. He has good acceleration, good jumping, good speed, and good strength, so he seems like a pretty decent athlete. Hopefully he can catch the ball. Normal dev with 91 speed. 7th round, this is the last pick that we have. I'm going to draft this right guard, Aiden Wentz from Wake Forest. He's 6'5", 340 pounds, power scheme fit. He's projected to go undrafted. I'm picking him because he has A, impact block, and he has a chance to have A in his awareness and B in his run block. 22 years old. He has decent acceleration, great change of direction, poor jumping, solid speed, good strength. Sometimes you gotta take the good with the bad. Normal dev, 88 strength. Looking at the draft recap, this is definitely the best draft that we had so far. 1st round pick, outside linebacker Buckley is a 74 overall speed rusher, so he's going to be getting moved to defensive end. I don't know how that's going to affect his overall. It could go up, could go down. And then the outside linebacker we drafted in the 2nd round, he was supposed to be a true top 5 talent. He's a 76 overall with hidden dev. I'm going to move him to middle linebacker, and he's going to be starting for us right away. And then the right guard I drafted in the 3rd round, he's a pass protector. He's a 73 overall. I'm going to end up moving him probably to right tackle or left tackle. I'm going to see how that goes, but he has hidden depth, so yeah, it's freaking awesome. The rest of the guys, this guy's only a 63. The tight end was a 66. That wide receiver is actually a 68, so he might be good enough to start for us. Well, in the slot as a 3rd receiver. Checking out the entire NFL draft recap, number 1 pick was a 73 overall left tackle that went to the Saints. Highest in the whole class was a 78 corner that went to the Patriots. 76 corner that went to the Saints. Where's our guy at? Here he is. So yeah, he's technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I guess technically the 5th because he's 76 and then goes to 75. So that was a really good pick for us in the 2nd round. This is the starting lineup for season 3. Deshaun Watson has 86 overall with superstar dev. I moved Conklin to left tackle since he's a higher overall and has better pass blocking abilities than Christie, the rookie that we drafted. Moved him to right tackle. He's a 74 with hidden dev, and he's a scheme fit pass blocker. Teller and Batonio are 2 of the best guards. in the entire game. And then we got Warren at center again. He's only a 72 overall. And Joku's up to 88 with star dev. Chubb's an X Factor at 99. Cooper's a 92 X Factor. A.T. Perry is 83 with superstar. Defensively, we drafted Curtis. He was an outside linebacker. He has hidden dev. I moved him to middle linebacker, and then I moved Barton to outside linebacker, and Walker's over here at the other outside linebacker. The biggest change I made was I moved Koromoa to strong safety because we had a pretty big weakness there. He's actually 85 overall at strong safety. Look at his abilities. Well, first let's look. He's 6'2", 221 pounds, so he has, you know, strong safety build. He has 90 speed with 81 zone coverage, 81 tackle, 90 pursuit. So he's really good at pass coverage, and he has, where's his man coverage? Oh, he has a 70 for man coverage, 85 hit power. So that's really gonna help us out with his flexibility to move to that position. Starting at the free safety spot, Newell is a 77 with star dev, so he's developing slowly. Denzel Ward's a 93 X Factor. Newsom's 85 with star, and then Emerson's up to a 78 still with normal dev. Myles Garrett's a 99 X Factor. Roy's up to superstar with 82. We're gonna go with Winfrey at defensive tackle one more time. And then our rookie defensive end we drafted, Buckley, is a 75 with normal dev. I'm gonna go ahead and change the defensive playbook to the Philadelphia Eagles. It's a 4-3 scheme, which is what our base is, but we had one of the worst defenses the last couple years in a row. I mean, I'm sure the fact that we have terrible players on the defense is contributing to it, but I also want to try to switch up the playbook. The midseason point, we're not off to a bad start. We are 4-3. The Bengals are 4-3, and the Ravens and Steelers are both 2-5. See what players we have to negotiate with. We have $92 million in cap space, so we actually have a lot of money. That must mean that there's a lot of players that we need to bring back that are pretty good. Yeah, pretty much. Batonio, I do want to bring him back, but he's 33 years old, so I'm going to wait till the end of the year. He's probably going to regress some. Wyatt Teller, 30 years old. I'm going to go ahead and try to sign him. He has a ton of interest. 89 overall scheme fit with superstar dev. He's coming back. 79 million left. David Njoku, I'm not sure if I want to bring him back or not. I mean, he's great, but he's 29 years old. He's going to start regressing, and we've been in trouble with money, so we need to try to be smart with our funds. Greg Newsome, I do want to bring him back for sure, even though he has zero interest. He's 25 years old. He's already 86 overall with star dev. He wants a 4-year deal, so I'm going to bump him up to a 6-year deal to try to get him to come back since he doesn't have interest. And he said he still wants to find another team in free agency. Cody Barton, outside linebacker. I'm going to wait till the end of the year on him. Emerson is only 24 years old. Dang. 78 overall with normal dev. I'm going to go ahead and try to bring him back. Still has plenty of time and room to develop. He's coming back. He's happy to come back. Still have 60 million left. Kicker Cade York, 24 years old, 75 overall with star dev. I'll try to bring him back. He has a lot of interest. He's coming back. 57 million left. Anthony Walker, probably moving on from him. David Bell, wide receiver. We're going to try to upgrade him. End of the regular season, we finished 8-9 and missed the playoffs again, unfortunately. The Bengals went 12-5, the Steelers went 6-11, and the Ravens went 5-12. What sucks about going 8-9 and missing the playoffs is that we're like a middle of the road team. So that means that we're not getting a really high draft pick. We're not getting a really low draft pick. Like, if we made the playoffs and got a bad draft pick, that's fine, but we're 8-9, so we're like right there on the cusp of making the playoffs, but still not. So we're still not going to get a top 10 pick, if you know what I'm saying. Checking out the player stats. We had the #1 ranked offense. Heck yeah. Defensively, what did we do this time? 11th. Dang. So we stepped up big time, but we still didn't make the playoffs. Deshaun Watson, 5,000 yards passing, 34 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 66% completion with the 100 rating. Solid season from him for sure. Nick Chubb, 1,400 yards rushing, 5.4 per carry with 14 touchdowns. Deshaun Watson ran for 7 touchdowns also. Amari Cooper led the team in receiving yards with 1,305 touchdowns. A.T. Perry had 1,100 yards with 8 touchdowns. David Bell had 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. And Njoku, 800 yards, 4 touchdowns. Defensively, Cody Barton led the team in tackles. What the heck? Why? Where's our middle linebacker at? He only had 54 tackles. Alright, Walker had 115. Myles Garrett had 20 TFLs and 26.5 sacks. Apparently he loves that Philadelphia Eagles playbook. The defensive tackle Roy had 8.5 sacks, and then Cox Jr. had 4. Where's our rookie at? Young, he only had, wait, that's not him. Where is he at? Buckley, he only had 0 sacks. He only had 0 sacks. What the heck am I saying? Terrible. Denzel Ward 4 interceptions. Cameron Curtis had 2. Barton, Walker, Newsome, Newell, and Stevens had 1 interception. The Buccaneers beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl 20-13 to win their 3rd Super Bowl. Devin White won Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow won MVP of the regular season with the Bengals. Ramiro Gallo won Coach of the Year with the Jaguars. Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year with the Rams. Our boy Myles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year with our Browns. Our starting left guard, Joel Bitonio, ended up retiring after 12 years, so we're going to have to get him replaced. I think he was like a 93 overall with Superstar Dev. We have $60 million in cap space. I think I'm going to let David Njoku walk and go to free agency. He's already 30 years old. He's going to start regressing, and he wants a 4-year deal for $44 million. Not going to pay that much for him. Can get a tight end that can put up similar numbers in Madden simulation for way cheaper. Greg Newsome, I do want to bring him back, even though he keeps saying he doesn't want to. I'm going to offer him a 5-year deal and see what he says. He's not interested in signing. How much is it to franchise tag this guy? $22.9 million. Man, I can't do that. Cody Barton, I'm going to let him walk. He's down to normal dev. He's 79 overall. Anthony Walker's been good, but he's down to a 73 overall. He's 31 years old. Rest of these guys I'm moving on from. Looking at the team salaries, and Jack Conklin is 32 years old. He's down to 80 overall on the last year of his 5-year deal. He's going to make $19.5 million this year. We can save $15 million by releasing him, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Pretty sure we can get an 80 overall left tackle for less than $15 million a year. Probably closer to like $10 million a year. The rest of these guys, I'm going to let them just keep playing out their contracts. This is what the team is looking like before free agency. Deshaun Watson jumped up to X Factor. Heck yeah, that's nice. We need a 3rd receiver. We need another left tackle, and we could use another right guard and center. Gonna see what we can do in free agency and draft with that for sure. And then we also need another tight end. Defensively, we just lost our 2 outside linebackers. Curtis only had star dev. He was the rookie that we had with hidden dev. We need another defensive tackle, and Buckley didn't get a lot of playing time as a pass rusher last season, so he didn't develop. He's still sitting at 76 with normal dev. And we need a 3rd cornerback. We finally had some money to spend in free agency. I ended up getting Greg Newsome back, even though he didn't want to sign with us. I offered him a huge deal. He came back. He's 86 overall, 26 years old with star dev. Getting Jordan Davis at defensive tackle, upgrading the defensive line. He's 82 overall, scheme fit with star dev, 26 years old. John Runyon coming in at right guard on a 1-year deal. He's 80 overall. Ended up getting Jack Conklin back at left tackle for I think $12 million, so ended up saving like $3 or $4 million on his deal by releasing him. Bringing in Alec Pierce to be wide receiver 3. He's 77 overall, scheme fit with normal dev, 26 years old. Getting Kazir White at outside linebacker. He's a 76 overall, 30 years old. And then Trey McBride at tight end. He's 26 years old, 75 overall, scheme fit with normal dev. Got him on a 4-year deal. He has 87 speed, so he's pretty fast for a tight end. Here in the first round, we have pick number 13. I'm going to draft this center, Maxwell Burns. He's from San Diego State, 6'4", 320 pounds, power scheme fit. Only having 50% scouted, so I'm taking a chance on him, but based on all the other people I've scouted, I'd rather take a chance on him instead. He has good acceleration, great agility, good change of direction with great speed and great strength. He has the potential to have A in a few things, and he does have A in a few things. He has hidden dev with 89 strength. We could really use another outside linebacker, so here in the second round, I'm going to draft Ben Vincent from Arkansas. He's 6'2", 222 pounds. He's a pass coverage guy. 21 years old. He has great acceleration, great agility, elite change of direction with great jumping and good speed. He has hidden dev, 83 speed. I'll take that. Here in the third round, we're still trying to find who's going to be our other pass rusher opposite of Myles Garrett. So I'm going to draft this defensive end, Dante Kelly from Temple. He's 6'4", 259 pounds. He's a speed rushing scheme fit. Only having 50% scouted. He's 23 years old. Good acceleration, solid agility, good change of direction with good speed. He has B finesse moves, B tackle, and he has hidden dev with 82 speed, 77 strength. Fourth round, I'm going to draft this outside linebacker, Bo Oliver from Notre Dame. He's 6'1", 245 pounds. He's a run stopper, 50% scouted, 22 years old. He has great agility, good change of direction with good speed and good strength. He has B tackle, B hit power. Normal dev with 83 speed. Checking out the draft recap, the first round pick center is a 75 overall, so he's going to be starting for us right away. He has hidden dev and he's a power scheme fit, so that was a great pick for us. Outside linebacker Bo Vincent's only a 71 overall. Does have hidden dev though. He's gonna be starting for us right out the bat. So we need that other outside linebacker spot. Anyways, rest of the guys, computer drafted this running back 69 overall in the 5th round. He's a power back and he does have hidden dev. 23 years old though, so he's a little bit older. Let's check out the entire NFL draft recap. Number 1 pick was a 74 overall right tackle that went to the Patriots. Highest in the whole entire class was a 76 overall safety that went in the 2nd round. 2 76 overall safeties that went in the 2nd round. And then there was a 76 quarterback, 76 running back, and a 76 defensive end. So this is basically like a mid-tier draft. There was no guys like in the 80s is what I'm trying to say. This is what the team is looking like for the start of season 4. Deshaun Watson's an 87 X Factor, Chubb's a 99 X Factor, Cooper's a 92 X Factor, A.T. Perry's an 86 Superstar. Brought in Pierce in free agency to be the slot receiver. He's a 79 with normal dev. We got Conklin at left tackle, Teller at left guard. The center, Burns, is a rookie, 77 with hidden dev. Brought in Runyon in free agency on a 1-year deal. He's an 81 with normal dev. And then Christie's a 78 with star dev. Brought in McBride at tight end. Free agency, he's a 76 with normal dev. Scheme fit. Defensively, we got Curtis at middle linebacker. Kassir White, we brought him in free agency. Probably a 1-year deal because he's already 30 years old. The rookie Vincent's going to be starting for us at left outside linebacker. Koromoto's at 87 at strong safety. Newell's up to an 80 with star dev at free safety. Denzel Ward's a 95 X Factor. Emerson's a 79 with normal dev. And we got Newsome back in free agency, 86 with star dev. And then we got Myles Garrett, 99 X Factor. Roy's at 85 with superstar. Brought in Jordan Davis in free agency, he's 85 with star dev. And then Buckley's still going to be starting for us over here at the defensive end spot. Kelly did have hidden dev, but he's only 69 overall, so Buckley's definitely the better option. See what's going on here at the specialist. So for some reason, Buckley is a 70 overall defensive end, but they have this guy coming in on the other side instead. I can fix it, but whenever I simulate a game or two, it automatically changes it back to this guy. So Madden's just dumb sometimes. Here we are at the midseason point. We're not off to a great start. We're 3-4, 3rd in the division. It's funny how we have a team that's 87 overall, literally the highest the team has been the entire rebuild, and here we are getting out to a bad start. Steelers are 6-0, the Bengals are 6-1, and the Ravens are 0-7. See what players we have to negotiate with. We got $144 million in cap space. Myles Garrett's gonna want a ton of money. Deshaun Watson's gonna want a ton of money. A.T. Perry's gonna want some money. Yeah, we got a lot of guys we're gonna have to try to bring back here. So Myles Garrett, he wants a 3-year deal for 87 mil. He's 30 years old, 98 with X Factor. Definitely gonna offer that to him. He wants more years. Deshaun Watson, 30 years old, 87 overall, X Factor. He wants a 3-year deal for 119 mil. I'll go ahead and offer it to him. It's better than 55 mil is what he was making before. 55 million a year. A.T. Perry, 25 years old. He's up to 85 overall, scheme fit, superstar dev. Wants a 3-year deal for about 35 mil. And he wants more years. Let's see, Jacqueline Roy, 23 years old, 83 overall, scheme fit, defensive tackle with superstar dev. He's still really young. Definitely gonna try to offer him a 3-year deal. He's coming back. Got 58 million left. Jack Conklin, 32 years old. He's gonna start regressing. We'll wait till the end of the year. John Runyon, same thing. Simulated to the next week. Gonna try to get Myles Garrett to sign again. We just offered him a 3-year deal. He turned it down. So let's go with the 4-year deal and see what he says. He wants even more. All right, about A.T. Perry. We offered him what, 3-year deal? He wanted more. Let's go 4 years on him. He's coming back. Who else did we have? All right, that was it. I'm gonna go to the next week and try to get Myles Garrett one more time. One more time, trying to sign Myles Garrett. I offered him a 4-year deal. He turned it down. So let's go 5 years. Will you take that, sir? He wants even more? What the heck? All right, we're waiting until the end of the season on this guy out here tripping. End of the regular season, we went 8-9 once again. Apparently that's our favorite record to have every single year since we love to have it. Looking at the player stats for the season, we had the 6th ranked offense, so offense is looking pretty good. Defensively, 17th, so the defense fell off a little bit. Deshaun Watson almost had 5,000 yards passing, 34 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, 65% completion with a 99 rating. That's an okay year. Rushing yards, Nick Chubb had 1,246 yards, 4.7 per carry with 20 touchdowns. Deshaun Watson, 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. Back at running back had 5 rushing touchdowns. Amari Cooper had the most receiving yards, 1,415 touchdowns. Alec Pierce, 1,000 yards, only 1 touchdown. A.T. Perry, 900 yards, 4 touchdowns. Trey McBride, 792 yards with 7 touchdowns. Defensively, Kazir White led the team in tackles with 141. Cameron Curtis had 133. Myles Garrett had 26 TFLs and 19 sacks. Roy had 7.5 sacks. Buckley had 5.5 sacks. Newell had 2 interceptions, and then we only had 4 guys that had 1. It was Curtis, Emerson, Newsome, and Koromoa. And we went from having a bunch of interceptions to basically none. The New York Giants beat the Jaguars in the Super Bowl 27-24 to win their 5th Super Bowl, and Saquon Barkley won Super Bowl MVP. Josh Allen won MVP of the regular season with the Bills. Jared Larson won Coach of the Year with the Texans. Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year with the Rams, and our boy Myles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year with the Browns once again. We have $88 million in cap space, and we still need to try to bring Myles Garrett back for like the 85th time. 31 years old, 97 with X Factor. We offered him a 5-year deal. I guess I'll go ahead and do it again and see what he says. He's not interested in signing. Well, how much does it cost to franchise tag you, sir? $28 million, that's a bargain. Thank you. I'll take that. John Runyon, 30 years old, 80 overall, right guard with normal dev. He has interest in coming back, so I'll go ahead and do that 1-year deal. He wants to go to a new team. All right, never mind. Jack Conklin at left tackle. He's 33 years old. He's down to a 79 overall. Normal dev. I'm going to wait and see if we can upgrade him in free agency. If not, we can always bring him back. The rest of these guys, I'm moving on from them. This is what the team is looking like before free agency. Deshaun Watson went back down to superstar. He did have X Factor. That center we drafted has superstar, so that's good to see. We need another left tackle, and we need a right guard. I'm going to keep rolling with Trey McBride at tight end. He's still putting up like the same numbers as Njoku. He just is way cheaper. Doesn't look all flashy with the star dev or superstar dev. Defensively, Newell hasn't really been developing that free safety. He's been hovering around a 79 and 80 the entire time. Might need to try to upgrade him. We need a couple outside linebackers. Maybe we could even get like a beast middle linebacker and move Curtis to outside linebacker. Could use another beast pass rusher. Buckley actually got 5.5 sacks this year. Maybe he can develop, but we'll see. This free agency class wasn't really strong, but I'm gonna get Tevin Jenkins at right guard. He's an 82 overall, scheme fit, star dev, 29 years old. Bringing in Patrick Queen at middle linebacker. He's an 82 overall with normal dev, but he's a scheme fit. And also bringing Jack Conklin back to play left tackle for us one more time. He had the best pass blocking ability of all the available left tackles and right tackles. Here in the draft, and we really need an elite pass rusher, the opposite of Myles Garrett. So I'm trading 2 first-round picks to get Brian Burns from the Carolina Panthers. He's a 96 overall. I want to upgrade the free safety position, so I'm trading 2 second-round picks and a third-round pick to get Xavier McKinney from the Giants. He's an 85 overall free safety, and we're going to get a 5th-round pick back in return. Checking out the draft recap, I ended up simulating the entire draft since we didn't have a 1st, 2nd, or 3rd-round pick. We ended up trading all of our picks to get better on the team instantly, basically like cashing them in. So none of these guys look like they're relevant for this last season. See what happened with the rest of the NFL draft. Number 1 pick was a 72 overall defensive end that went to the Lions. That sucks for them. Highest in the whole draft was 81 overall running back that went to the Eagles. This is what the team is looking like for the 5th and final season. Deshaun Watson's at 85 with superstar. Chubb's a 99 X Factor, Cooper's a 91 with X Factor, Pierce is a 80 with normal dev in the slot, Perry's 88, he dropped down to star dev, he was a superstar. And then we brought Conklin back for 1 more year, brought in Jenkins at right guard in free agency, and McBride's a 77 with normal dev at tight end spot. Defensively, we brought in Patrick Queen at middle linebacker, I moved Curtis to outside linebacker, traded for McKinney at the free safety spot. Noel's going to be a backup for us with depth. And then we also traded for Burns at defensive end. He's a 97 with X Factor. Him and Myles Garrett should probably get at least 20 sacks each. That's what I'm hoping for anyways. Denzel Ward's a 94 with superstar. Newsome's a 88 with star. And then Emerson's up to 80 with normal dev. Then we got Roy and Davis in the middle. The midseason point, we're 5-2, off to a pretty good start, leading the division. The Bengals are 4-2, the Ravens are 4-3, and the Steelers are 2-4. It's the last season of the rebuild, so I'm simulating to the playoffs. Wow, end of the regular season, we went 9-8, did not make the playoffs. Steelers went 11-6, won the division. The Bengals went 9-8, and the Ravens went 7-10. So another not so great year. See what happened with the player stats. Number 4 ranked offense. We had a top 5 offense most of the time. Defensively, number 23, so defense regressed. That don't make any sense since we just upgraded it. Deshaun Watson threw for 4,500 yards, 39 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 64% completion with a 99 rating. Nick Chubb had another amazing year, 1,400 yards rushing, 5.6 per carry with 21 touchdowns. Dang. Amari Cooper had 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. Alec Pierce, 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. A.T. Perry, 800 yards, only 1 touchdown. Trey McBride had 759 yards and 9 touchdowns. Defensively, Patrick Queen led the team in tackles with 125. Myles Garrett had 19 TFLs and Burns had 14. Myles Garrett had 15 sacks and Burns only had 6.5. What the heck? Yeah, we're like getting no sacks. Don't make any sense. Patrick Queen, 3 interceptions. Newell had 2. Ward had 2. McKinney had 2. Curtis, Newsome, Vincent, and Emerson all had 1 interception. The Jaguars beat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl 24-21 to win their first ever Super Bowl. And apparently they have a safety named Mac Jones that won MVP of the Super Bowl. Trevor Lawrence won MVP of the regular season with the Jaguars, and their head coach won Coach of the Year also. Amon-Ra St. Brown won Offensive Player of the Year with the Texans. Max Crosby won Defensive Player of the Year with the Raiders. This is what the final team looks like. Deshaun Watson is up to 85 with Superstar Dev. He did decent in the rebuild. He had 1 season that was really good. Let's look at it real quick, his season stats. He's 32 years old at this point, so he's going to start regressing, but let's see, this season right here, the first season that we switched to the Bills offense, he threw for almost 5,000 yards and he had a 111 rating. 49 touchdowns and only 13 picks. That was definitely his best season. The rest of the time he was hovering right around 100 for his passer rating, which is okay, but I like my quarterbacks to be about 105 or better. Nick Chubb is just freaking unstoppable. Dude had all these crazy seasons. Amari Cooper is actually holding his overall pretty well, even though he's getting up there in age. I mean, I think that we did pretty good overall with drafting players because we didn't have any money in free agency for like the first 2 or 3 years, so we had to just keep on trying to draft well, which we did okay. I mean, you can't hit home runs on every single pick. And it seemed like we had a team like pretty decent overall most of the time, but the simulation just didn't like us. So that's going to be it for the video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, make some suggestions down in the comments for other types of videos that you would like to see. I appreciate everyone for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace!